come back to pick up his $700,000.
Here's that way.
Can I have it as an advance against my allowance?
50 cents a week, that'd take a while to pay back.
I'm young.
You ain't that young. Besides, Honest John needs that money to help fight smog.
You know, I'd like to throw my brain into the fight against smog.
It's a dandy cause. They say what it'll take to whip it is brains and money.
Well, betwixt us, we got it made, ain't we?
I reckon we got a leg up on it.
Elmer and me'll get busy upstairs.
Fine, Ellie. Oh, Jed, that reminds me. Mr. Drysdale called and said he was coming by to pick up this money.
How come?
Well, he said folks hadn't ought to keep $700,000 in cash around the house. He's got the hives from worrying about it.
Well, I'm sorry about the hives, but I promised this money to Honest John to fight smog.
I'm thinking about jumping into the fight against smog, too, Granny.
Well, Mr. Drysdale said that this money belongs back in the vault at his bank, and he's coming by to pick it up.
I don't think I can let him have it. Promise is a promise.
I'm gonna fight smog, Granny.
Well, I told Mr. Drysdale that you might not let him have it, but he says he's coming by to pick it up. So that's betwixt you and him.
Granny, I'm gonna fight smog.
How?
Well, I don't know, but Uncle Jed says it takes brains and money. Betwixt us, we's all set.
You got money, have you?
No, I'm supplying the brains. Sitting up here betwixt these sideburns is a real brute.
The only brute you have sits here at the end of your gullet.
I think we ought to encourage your boy, Granny.
He don't know smog from applesauce.
I do so. I listen to the reports all the time. Why, today we's having light eye irritation. But that don't worry me, because I got dark eye.
That's a great partner you got there, Jed. Oh.
All right, guard. Go in there and get that money, and don't take no for an answer.
You forced me to wear this uniform to save paying a guard, but it won't work. Mr. Clampett will recognize me.
I thought of that. So just wear this disguise. There we go. Looks great. Now get the money.
Oh, but suppose Mr. Clampett won't let me take it.
Well, you've got a gun. Use it.
Oh, gee.
Oh, I don't need to shoot him. Just fire a couple of shots over his head to show him you mean business.
I will not. If you want that money, go and get it yourself.
A fine guard you are. Why, you're a disgrace to that uniform.
Mr. Drysdale, I thought I heard somebody.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, this guard is here to pick up that $700,000.
Well, I don't think I can let him have it.
Well, whatever you do, don't cross him. He's armed. He's a mad dog killer.
Is that fact? Are you a mad dog killer, Miss Jane?
Of course not.
Miss Hathaway, what are you doing in that uniform?
Oh, boy.
If this is your idea of a practical joke, I, for one, do not appreciate it. Or can I imagine Mr. Clampett is amused either?
Now,
I'll see that she's punished, Mr. Clampett. And I think the proper punishment would be to make her carry out that heavy bag of money. Go get it.
Now, hold on. She ain't toting out that money.
Well, if you want to forgive her so easily, but keep an eye on her. Any woman who'll dress up like that bears watching. Hello, Jethro.
Howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Get up. I need this money.
Uncle Jed don't want you to have it, so I'm going to sit here till I think of a way to get rid of the smog.
Jethro, that is a problem for a genius to solve.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Why don't you go out to the kitchen and eat something?
Vowed I wouldn't eat till I figured out a way to whip the smog.
Well, go get a stick and hit it.
You ain't being no help.
Well, neither are you. Get up.
Not till I think of an idea.
Jethro, get off the money. Here's an armed guard. He'll shoot you.
Hey, mister, you look like your secretary, Miss Jane.
I am Miss Jane.
What are you doing wearing that outfit?
It was dark when she dressed this morning. Now get off the money.
See, Mr. Clampett is not going to let you take this money.
Okay, then you take it. Come on, get up.
Get it. We might just as well go back to the office.
Hey, Miss Jane, before you go, say, sit down and help me think of an idea on how to get rid of smog.
Jethro, dear boy, the finest minds in the country are working on that problem.
Well, yeah, but I ain't getting nowhere.
Don't sit there wasting time with that idiot.
Hey, now, hold on. Just because she's dressed funny don't make her an idiot.
Get up from there, both of you.
Mr. Drysdale, it's hard to think of brilliant ideas with folks yelling at you.
Yeah.
Where does Granny keep her shotgun?
Sure hope I can whip that smog problem before I starve to death.
Jethro, I'm afraid that problem won't be solved until someone invents a replacement for the internal combustion engine.
I'll do it. I'm on it. Hey, what's internal combustion engine?
Well, that's the engine that powers the average automobile. The hope is to convert to steam or electricity.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale, what should I put my giant brain to work on first? A steam car or electric car?
Why not a gas turbine?
Oh, I ain't gonna mess with hats, just cars.
Swell.
Mr. Drysdale, I done told you this money is staying here. Mr. Drysdale, get off of my money.
It's my money.
No, it ain't. It's mine.
It was my sack.
All right, I'll dump the money out, and you can have the sack.
Good. Just dump it in that truck out front.
It's staying here.
But it's not safe here.
Well, it was till you showed up.
But no, it's going back into my vault.
No, it ain't.
Oh, Chief.
Don't stand there, Hathaway. Use your gun.
That is an excellent idea. Stand back, Mr. Clampett. I should hate to hit you.
You traitor!
Mr. Drysdale, get a hold of yourself. I done promised this money to a fella's going to get rid of all the smog.
Not Jethro.
No. This fella's going to drill a tunnel through the San Bernardino Mountains, put in a great big fan, and draw all the smog out of Los Angeles.
But that's a preposterous idea.
Yeah, we like it too.
Mr. Clampett, the problem of smog is too big to be handled locally. It has to be solved on a national level.
Is that a fact?
Only the president can get together the brain power and the vast amount of money necessary. Why, this $700,000 isn't even a drop in the bucket.
Well, how much does the president need?
Oh, millions, billions. So I'll just take this chicken feed back to the bank.
I'll study on it, Mr. Drysdale.
No, give up, Chief. Go.
Hold it, Hathaway. I'm not through with you.
What now?
You are guilty of conduct unbecoming an employee of the Commerce Bank.
Oh, big deal.
For cowardice in the face of action. For failure to obey a direct order. Criminal treachery and insubordination. You are hereby dishonorably discharged as a guard and reduced to the rank of secretary.
Hallelujah.
Don't expect a Christmas bonus this year.
I have never had a Christmas bonus.
Well, don't expect one this year either. Now get the truck.
Boy, what have you done to that truck?
Looks like the boob has set it on fire.
Jethro, what'd you do?
Done converted this rascal to steam. You are looking at the answer to air pollution by automobiles. The Jethro Bodine steam car. But I have done perfected a clean engine.
I'm going back inside.
Let's all do that for this clean engine jokes us to death.
Uncle Jet, Honest John ain't gonna be needing his money no more now that I whipped the smog problem. So I use it to mass produce my steam car.
Hold on, boy. According to Mr. Drysdale, only the president himself can handle the smog problem.
The President of the United States.
That's right. He's the only one that can bring together the brains and the money.
Well, here stands the whole kit and caboodle. I'll hop on my steam car, drive to Washington, pull up in front of the White House, and give him the brains and the money, all in one package.
Hold on, boy. What you got there is just a drop in the bucket.
And it ain't likely enough money either.
Talking about the money, Granny. Mr. Drysdale says the president's liable to need millions, even billions. I was thinking of giving him all my money.
Okay, I'll stop by the bank and get the rest of it.
Well, Pop, if Jethro goes to Washington, I want to go too.
And they ain't going without me.
I was just coming to that. I think it'd be a fine trip for the whole family.
I best go leave a note for the milkman. Tell him we's going to Washington.
And since you have failed to make your final payment promptly, we are forced to repossess your automobile. Sincerely, your friendly banker, Melvin Drysdale.
Chief, you're telling your own brother you're repossessing his car?
Oh, that is a little cold, isn't it? P.S. Regards to Betty and the babies. Yes, who is it?
It's me, Mr. Drysdale. I fetched you back your sack of chicken feed.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
Right happy to get it, ain't he?
No chicken could be happier.
I studied on what you said about letting the president fight the small.
Wonderful.
The cashier tells me that counting this, I got right at $95 million in your bank now.
Wonderful.
So we're going to take it to Washington and give it to the president.
Mr. Clampett, you can't give all your money to the president.
Why not?
Oh, because it... Miss Hathaway, tell them why not.
Why not?
Not that way. Explain it.
Mr. Clampett, it is your money. You may do with it as you wish.
Who asked you to butt in?
You did.
Well, butt out. Now, Mr. Clampett, this will take time. Government red tape, internal revenue, Secret Service, White House clearance. Now, I'll work it out and call you.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry, because we'd like to get started.
Right away, right away.
Oh, and you don't have to give us the $95 million in cash. I reckon the president will take a check.
Well, I'll discuss it with him and let you know. Miss Hathaway, you've got to help me. If they take their money out of my bank, I'm ruined. I've got nothing to live for.
Oh, now, Chief.
A suicide note. That will stop them. Here, take this. Mr. Clampett, because you are withdrawing your money, my death is on your hands.
Chief, no.
Now, type that up, pin it to your dress, and throw yourself out the window. They love you. This will teach them a great lesson.
Thanks, but... No thanks.
I promise this is the last favor I'll ever ask.
Forget it.
What? If you're too chicken to throw yourself out the window, I'll do it. All right, come over here. I can't throw you out from there.
What's all the honking for, boy?
I done come up with an invention that beats steam.
Yeah, I see the boiler's going.
Yes, sir. Notice how quiet she is? No noise, no smoke, no smog. She runs on electricity.
Doggies. I'm real proud of you, boy.
Wow, wow! The presidents are calling you.
All the way from Washington.
President of the United States is calling me.
Yes, sir, Pop.
They're bringing the old fellow to the phone, Mr. Little.
Isn't he in a straitjacket?
Oh, no, he's not dangerous. He just suffers from the delusion that he's worth $95 million.
No wonder he's in the funny farm.
The whole family.
You know, it's wonderful of you to look after them.
Oh, they're very sweet people. Nutty, but sweet.
Hurry, Dad, don't keep them waiting.
Hey, tell them about my electric car.
Hello? Hello? Hello, Judge Clampett speaking.
Hello, Mr. Clement. This is the president speaking.
Is that sure enough you, Mr. President?
Oh, yes. Make no mistake about that. I am the president.
That's him, all right.
Now, Mr. Drysdale has told me of your generous and patriotic offer to donate your entire fortune to the fight against air pollution.
Yes, sir. It's only $95 million, but you're sure welcome to it. And we'll bring it right to you, right there in the White House. The whole family.
This here's Granny, Mr. President. I'll bring you some pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chickens.
Mr. President, this here's Ellie Mae. Would you like a nice little baby possum to play with?
My nephew Jethro ain't here to say howdy, but he's going to drive us all the way to Washington in his brand new invention, the electric car.
No. Don't come to Washington. We've got enough people like you here already. You're public-spirited citizens now.
Well, how will we get the money to you?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. I want to make this point very clear.
What is the point I want to make very clear?
Leave your money in the bank. The Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, where it will draw maximum interest, compounded semi-annually, in the care of your wise and friendly banker, Melvin Drysdale.
Well, naturally, we'll do whatever you say, Mr. President. But the family's going to be awful disappointed. We was hoping to get away to Washington.
No, don't try to get away. Just stay right there and do what the nice man in the white coat told you. Goodbye.
Bye.
What'd he say, Jed?
He said he don't want us to come to Washington right now.
Well, what are we supposed to do, Pa?
He says he's going to send a man in a white coat to tell us. Jethro, I just talked to the president, and we won't be driving to Washington in your electric car.
Just as well, Uncle Jed. I'd never found an extension cord long enough to get us there.
Mr. Little, that was a magnificent performance.
Thank you.
Why, your impersonation of the president was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again sometime. Take good care of yourself.
Mr. Drysdale, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, what's that?
My fee.
Oh, yes. How much is it?
Well, ordinarily I receive $7,500 for a performance. However, in this case, I'll cut it in half. How's $3,750?
$37.50 it is. 20, 40. Now, you owe me $2.50.
No, that's $3,750.
For 5 minutes' work, the president doesn't get that much, and he's the real thing.
Excuse me, Chief. These foreclosures are ready. Well, aren't you Rich Little, the impressionist?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Mr. Little, I just love your impression of John Wayne.
Huh? Well, thank you very much, ma'am. And let me say that if we had girls like you out on the trail, I never would have given my horse a second look.
Oh, that is marvelous. And your Ed Sullivan is an absolute classic.
Old Ed Sullivan. Wonderful. Would you do me a favor there, youngster? Would you come on our show next Sunday night and bring your stuffed giraffe?
Yes.
I'd love to have you.
What else are you going to have on the show?
World War I with the original cat, in living color, with the surprise ending.
Oh, isn't he fabulous?
It certainly is. This was a real pleasure.
Wait a minute, you're forgetting something again.
Oh, yes, your fee. What are you charging her for Wayne and Sullivan?
Oh, nothing.
I'll accept the same arrangement.
Don't leave no milk for a spell. We is going to Washington, Granny.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to Washington.
Whiz?
That's what the message says. Have a good trip.
Hey, Uncle Jed, we's going to Washington. We just got the message. What'd you say, boy? We's going to Washington. The fella in the white coat just brought the message from the president.
Well, where is he?
Yonder he goes.
Ain't that the milkman?
Being a milkman is what you call a cover.
Cover?
He's really a secret agent for the government.
Sure not?
Yeah, I learned all that stuff when I was a double-knot spy.
Well, reckon we best get packing.
Hey, should I convert my electric car back to steam?
No, I think we better fly. When the president sends for you, you don't want to keep him waiting.
Well, if he comes in, will you please ask him to call his office immediately? It's an emergency. Thank you.
How do you like it, Miss Hathaway?
Chief, where have you been?
Shopping. Any messages?
Oh, just one, but it's a beauty. The Clappets are leaving for Washington.
What?
They're determined to give their $95 million to the president.
We've got to stop them. Get Rich Little back.
You're kidding.
Huh? Here's a signed check. He can make it out for any amount he likes. I'll get up to the Clampets and delay them until he calls. I made it. They're still here. Private, Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro. Where is everybody? Oh, hello, Bessie.
Is that for me? How are you? Dear Mr. Drysdale, please feed the critters till we get back.
Enjoying your flight?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We's going to Washington to see the president.
We's going to give him $95 million.
Oh, boy.
You know the president. Talked to him this morning. I'm fetching him a baby possum.
And I'm taking him a jar of pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chitlins.
We was going in my electric car, but I couldn't find no 3,000-mile extension cord.
That's very interesting.
Young lady, how high would you say we're flying?
A lot higher than the plane.
Weeknights on Hallmark. Watch great stories.
I'm an angel.
And witness the miracles. Touched by an Angel. Weeknights at 8 on the Hallmark Channel. Maxine's job is to keep families together.
In just a few minutes, you will be one big happy family.
Including her own.
Mom, you have to stop. Stop what? I know you mean well, but you really have to let me grow up.
I thought I did that already.
Amy Brenneman and Tyne Daly in Judging Amy. Monday at 9 on Hallmark Channel.
Y'all come back now. Here.
This has been a Film Waste.
Look out the window, everybody. We're flying over a right pretty town.
That there's Washington, D.C.
Anybody see the White House?
Appears to be lots of White Houses down there.
Would you fasten your seatbelts, please?
He takes his meals at the White House. The president's wife will never get out of the kitchen.
I can help with the cooking.
No, Ellie, I'll do that. You make the beds and do the dusting. And Jethro, you can mow the White House lawn and rake the leaves.
Let Ellie do that. President needs me for my brain.
Oh, pooh.
I'll likely be in the East Room or someplace sitting on...
Get past the guard.
I'll handle it. It's important for the Clampetts to see me coming out of the White House.
Okay, good luck, honey.
Yeah. Schaefer, FBI.
Hold it.
What is it? What? The president is waiting. What is it?
I need to see your identification.
You don't recognize me?
Nope.
Good. I told J. Edgar this was a perfect disguise. See you later.
Hold it.
Look, you're delaying high-level meetings. Now, what do you want?
I want to see your pass.
My pass? Of course. My pass. How do you know? I must have left it on the president's desk. I'll go get it.
Hold it!
Now, what is it?
I can't let you in without a pass.
Is that your final word?
It is.
Excellent. You have passed the test with flying colors. Congratulations. Now, let me see now. You are guard number 16, Eastgate. Gets A1 rating. The president will be pleased. Now, don't be surprised if there's a little something extra in your stocking at Christmas.
Hold it!
Now, look, you have proven your efficiency, my good man. Don't press your luck. I may drop you to a B+. Just candy canes and bubble gum in your stocking.
Beat it.
Beat it? Careful. One word from me, and you'll be guarding a government igloo in Iceland.
I am going to count to 3 if you are not gone.
Never mind. I think my pigeons have just flown in from the West Coast.
Dandy big house the president's got.
Nice big yard, too.
Lots of room for critters.
Reckon he's got a garden and chickens?
Likely out back.
Well, here's all our stuff.
Here you are, Mr. Taxi Driver.
Thank you. Tell me, what time is the next public tour of the White House?
3 o'clock.
Yes, remember that. I'm going to ask questions later. Tell the president I'll be there.
Mr. Schaefer!
Honest John!
Well, bless my soul, if it isn't the Clampetts. What brings you to Washington, of all places?
We's here to see the president.
We want to talk to him about the smog problem.
We's going to help him get rid of the stuff.
What a coincidence. You just appointed me chairman of a very special committee for that purpose.
I'm ready to give him my money if I just knew how.
Another coincidence. Just happens to be the function of my committee.
Hey,
God! I try to do my humble bit.
Shall I make out the check to the president?
As a matter of fact, the check should be made payable to my committee.
What's that?
Citizens Against Smog Horror.
That's quite a lot to write.
Just use the initials.
Fine. Citizens Against Smog Horror. Now, shall I make it for the whole 95 million?
No. That might be a bit hard to handle.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, other public-spirited citizens not as wealthy as you might be embarrassed and not contribute at all.
Oh, well, we don't want that to happen.
I'm glad you understand.
Give him $5, Jed. Lots of folks got that much.
On the other hand, let's not go too far the other way. A little friendly embarrassment never hurt anybody.
How about starting with $1 million?
Excellent. Just the right amount to get the ball rolling.
That's 1, comma, not, comma, not, dot, not.
Well, he's got a great head for ciphers, ain't he?
He's a real knothead.
Well, there you are, Mr. Honest John. I hope that primes the pump.
Beautiful. The president will be delighted.
Are you going to show it to him?
At our afternoon meeting. What time is that again, my good man?
3 o'clock.
Tell him to be on time. I'm a busy man.
You must know the president pretty good.
Pals, buddies.
Well, why don't you take us to the meeting with you? We'd like to say howdy to him.
And he'd like to say howdy to you.
Oh, golly.
However, the Secret Service requires security clearance.
Will that take long?
Do you happen to have birth certificates, color photographs, passports, and a complete set of fingerprints with you?
Why, no, we ain't.
Well, I'm afraid it'll take a while. Meantime, I'll put you up at a nice, comfortable hotel. Here! Taxi!
These are dandy fine accommodations, Mr. Honest John.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clampett. Here, let me show you something. Here you have a magnificent view of the entire city of Washington.
Well, ain't that pretty? Granny, Billy Mae. Mr. Honest John has fixed us up real nice here, ain't he?
Well, it's all right, but it ain't like staying at the White House.
Sure ain't. They got a kitchen over there where a fella can get a snack when he's hungry.
Ain't we gonna get to stay at the White House at all?
Billy Mae, don't pay no attention to him, Mr. Honest John. He is acting awful pushy.
Not at all. As soon as I have straightened out the matter of security clearance, I'm sure the president and his wife will issue you a formal invitation.
Oh, boy. Well, you tell them that they ain't taking in a family of freeloaders. We'll pitch in and help with the housework and the chores.
I'll make that matter crystal clear to him.
We're right obliged to you.
Glad to do it. See you later, friend.
Shifty, baby, how'd it go?
Like $1 million. And here it is.
$1 million. Beautiful. I can have us packed in 5 minutes.
Wait a minute. Where are we going?
Mexico, Venezuela, you name it.
Flo, there are 94 more where this came from.
Now, don't get greedy. Let's take our $1 million and play it safe.
Baby, this is a chance of a lifetime. Think big.
I'm thinking big. We could get 20 years apiece.
Relax. I got those hillbillies in the palm of my hand. They're grapes waiting to be picked.
How?
Well, I got $1 million for smog. I'll get $1 million for something else.
How?
I'll think of something. I'll sell them the White House.
How?
How? You sound like an Indian. That's it. You're going to be an Indian.
What?
It's beautiful. They'll love it. You are the last of the Columbia Indians. And that, dear friends, is why the president is embarrassed to invite you to the White House.
You mean he don't even own the house he lives in?
Not so much as a stick of furniture belongs to him.
That's terrible. No wonder he can't ask us to stay. I'd feel the same way in somebody else's house.
Mm-hmm.
Who owns it?
The White House stands on Indian ground.
No.
Yes, this entire area was once occupied by the Columbia Indians. That is why, to this day, it is called the District of Columbia.
Well, can't the government buy it from the Indians?
There's only one surviving member of the Columbia tribe, and she refuses to sell.
She?
Yes, the ancient and noble Princess Sitting Hawk.
Right noble name.
A proud and defiant woman. Not all the pale-faced pony soldiers can drive her from the land she feels is rightfully hers.
Why won't she sell?
Sitting Hawk does not trust politicians. She says they speak with forked tongue.
Well, can't the president get her to sell the White House to him?
Every chief executive since Lincoln has tried.
Lincoln? How old is she?
Well, no one knows for sure, but at least 150.
Indians does live a long time.
She wouldn't even sell to Lincoln?
Well, she liked certain things about him. The fact that he was tall, a simple man, humble, honest. I would say that Lincoln and Teddy Roosevelt have come closest to impressing Princess Sitting Hawk.
She favored Teddy, did she?
Well, he was a rugged outdoor man. She admired that. She liked his mustache. She called him Chief, hair on the lip.
Them two was the only ones that come close, huh?
Yes. If there only existed a man who combined the qualities of both. Tall, simple, humble, honest, a rugged outdoor man with a mustache.
You're describing Jed?
One who had never been involved in politics.
That's Jed.
Who?
Jed Clampett. He's sitting right here.
Now, Granny.
By Judge, I think she's got it.
Shucks, no.
Did you hear that? Shucks. No. It says everything. He's simple, he's humble, he's honest.
He's tall, and he's got hair on the lip.
He's our man.
Forget it. I can't handle nothing as important as this.
Mr. Clampett, when Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory, was asked to fight the Battle of New Orleans, do you know what he said? Forget it. I can't handle nothing as important as this. Is that a fact? But he won, and you will win. History has chosen you, and you cannot refuse.
Do it, Jed. Then we are sure to get an invite to the White House.
Well, I ain't gonna do it just for that.
Then you will do it?
Well, if it leaves the president's mind, least I can do is try.
Spoken like a true patriot. I will take you to Princess Sitting Hawk and act as your interpreter.
You talk Indian?
I learned as a child. The tongue of the Columbia Indians was the second language in our home.
How come?
Well, many moons ago, my family befriended the tribe. When all other pale faces were against them, the Indians knew they could always find refuge in the home of a Schaefer.
It was nice of your folks to take them in.
Our name has become part of the Indian language, synonymous with hospitality. To this very day, to be taken in is to be Schaefered.
Look, Jed, I think I see her.
Is that her, honest, John?
Yep. There she sits in front of her lonely teepee. The last of the noble Columbia Indians, the ancient and venerable Princess Sitting Hawk.
Does she sit there all the time?
Day and night. Winter and summer, rain or shine. She keeps silent vigil over her property.
Think they'd let her stay in the White House? It's on her land.
On the contrary. Why, they have cannons to keep her out.
Well, if that don't beat all.
Cannons to keep out a poor old 150-year-old Indian woman.
You can't hardly blame her for feeling spiteful.
Is that why she wears all that war paint?
Wouldn't you if somebody pointed cannons at you?
Now, you have sympathy and understanding for her cause. She's going to like you. I feel it.
Can we go talk to her now?
I will ask her. Monongahela, Hiawatha, Nantucket, Powwow.
Monongahela, Nicomas, Powwow.
She has agreed to a powwow. Chattanooga.
Choo-choo.
Paleface, Cayuga.
What'd you say?
I told her you were very friendly.
Good.
Pale face. Sequoia.
She says you're tall. She likes that.
Pale face. Ponderosa.
She likes your mustache.
Pale face. Tippecanoe. Shoshone too.
She says you're a combination of Lincoln and Roosevelt.
That's right, Cayuga of her.
Pale face.
Potawatomi?
No, Potawatomi.
What was that?
She wanted to know if you're a politician.
Tell her I'm a farmer.
Paleface, Manitoba.
Ah, Tallahassee.
She's very pleased.
Tell her I'm a doctor.
Pale-faced squaw, Zuni.
Ah, Zuni.
She's very impressed.
I didn't get no Tallahassee out of her.
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
That's better.
Sass. Catchawan.
She's invited us to sit down.
Well, maybe we better get down to business. Ask her if she'll sell me the White House property.
I'll do that.
Yeah, tell her if she does, I'll do my best to chafer her.
What?
Take her into the White House.
Oh, yes.
But, Jed, we ain't been took in ourselves yet.
Don't worry, dear friends. Before this day is over, I promise you will be thoroughly shapen.
What's Seton Hawk doing in there?
She's getting help from the spirits.
Well, she ought to lay off. Sounds like she's had enough.
Oh, no. She's contacting the spirits of her ancestors who have gone to the happy hunting grounds, asking their advice.
I hope they advise her to sell me the White House. First thing I'm going to do is take them cannons away.
Yeah, looking down the mouth of a cannon every day must be awful scary.
Not the Sitting Hawk. She is fearless. Even General Custer couldn't drive her from this spot.
He tried, did he?
Rode in here with his cavalry, yelling, shooting, waving their sabers. But she never budged.
Spunky little woman.
Her bravery so impressed General Custer that he called her Courageous Adversary, a name which has stuck to this day.
I'd have called him a few names.
Ah, Sitting Hawk got her revenge. She told her cousin, Sitting Bull. You know what happened to Custer?
Waukegan.
What's that?
It's the deed to the White House.
Oh, good.
Sitting Hawk. Poughkeepsie. Paleface Wigwam. Sequoia. Manitoba.
She has decided to sell the White House to the tall farmer.
Oh, I'm right in Tallahassee. Ask her how much she wants for it.
Yucca lampum?
Uno alligator.
She and the spirits have arrived at the price of $1 million.
Tell her it's a deal.
Caracas.
Venezuela.
Write the check.
Oh, shall I make it out to Sitting Hawk?
Yes, but include the name bestowed on her by General Custer. That's Courageous Adversary Sitting Hawk.
Well, I don't hardly have room for that.
Just use the initials. That's the custom here in Washington.
Courageous Adversary Sitting Hawk. Well, what do you know? Comes out just like the other check. C-A-S-H.
Oh, what a coincidence.
Ain't Seton Hawk gonna get the money?
Of course, but first I have to change it into beads for her. Here's your Waukegan.
Howdy.
Howdy.
We's the Clampetts. This here is Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro, and I'm Jed.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Can I help you folks?
Oh, no, thanks. We's all able-bodied.
The president is gonna chafer us.
I beg your pardon. Can you keep a secret? Yeah, I think so.
I Poughkeepsied the White House from Sutton Hall.
No fooling.
How's gonna give the president his Waukegan?
And he'll be right Tallahassee to get it.
Well, we best Saskatchewan for the supper table. Hey, can we see the president now?
Just a second. I'll see if he's busy. Captain, Frank at the East Gate. I got 4 ding-a-lings here. Okay, but hurry.
What'd he say?
He's sending a car for you.
Oh, shucks, we'll walk. It ain't but a couple of 100 feet.
No. You just stay right here. The president wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, that's real Cayuga.
Oh, he's very Cayuga.
Do you notice anything familiar looking about Jed?
Should I?
He's Tippy Canoe and Shoshone, too.
Now that you mention it, he certainly is.
It's being Sequoia and having a Ponderosa that does it.
But he ain't no pot to what to me.
Car's here.
Look at that big fancy limousine.
Yeah, we wasn't aiming to put on airs, but looks like the president won't have it any other way.
He's gonna get shapered in style.
Yeah, Chattanooga.
Choo-choo.
He talks it real good, don't he? Well, come on, everybody.
Black hat, black boots, black belt. Bad news for the bad guys. Walker, Texas Ranger. Weeknights at 6 on the Hallmark Channel. Let there be light! Their ancient struggles.
We must have our strength. I could destroy you with a word.
Became eternal stories.
What could a man know of a god so mighty as to make all this?
Egypt will starve.
In the Beginning premieres tonight at 7 on the Hallmark Channel.
I'm back now. Here.
Wanted to see me, Mr. Clanford?
Yes, sir, Mr. Honest John. We had us a kind of a bad experience.
Here? In my town? Washington, D.C.?
Yes, sir. It happened right after I bought the White House from your Indian friend, Sutton Hawk.
Ah, yes. The last of the District of Columbia Indians. Noble woman.
Oh, I ain't faulting her. It was when we took the deed over to give it to the president that we run into the trouble.
You tried to see the president without telling me?
Oh, we didn't want to bother you. We thought we'd just drop in and hand him the Waukegan.
What?
Are you forgetting? Waukegan is Indian for deed.
Ah, yes, of course. You gave it the pale-faced pronunciation. Confused me for a moment.
Well, anyway, it was at the gate to the White House where things went wrong.
I'll say they did.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, especially for your sake, Ellie Mae.
No, I'm Granny.
I did it again. It's very confusing. You both look so young and radiant.
Well, I don't feel young and radiant. When we tried to see the president, they took us to the calaboose.
No.
Well, come to think of it, it wasn't exactly a calaboose. It was more like a hospital.
Well, anyway, it was something called a psycho ward.
Do you know what that is?
Can't
Never
say as
heard
I
of
did.
it.
That, my friends, is a place reserved for very important visitors, like yourself.
Now that I recollect, they did think that we come from a foreign country.
Yeah, a place called Paranoid.
There was another country mentioned, too.
That's right. They said from the way we looked and acted, we was either paranoics or schizophrenics.
Yeah.
A natural mistake. There are many of them here in Washington.
Well, you'd think that after Jed laying out $1 million to buy the White House for him, the president would see us.
I'll go to the White House right now and speak to the chief.
Well, you tell him and his missus that we would like to be invited for victuals.
You will be. Victuals in the gold room.
Tell the president's missus not to go to no trouble.
I'll do that. I'm sure the First Lady will be very relieved.
First Lady?
That's how we refer to the president's wife.
Did you hear that, Granny? They call her the First Lady.
Yeah. I bet the other presidents' wives wouldn't appreciate a crack like that.
Flo? Flo? Flo, where are you?
I'm trying to scrape off this Indian paint so we can blow town.
No, Tom. Honey, I've got the Clampitt's convinced that you own the entire District of Columbia.
So?
So, I've only sold them one little parcel, the White House.
Now, Shifty.
Well, what's wrong with getting another $1 million for the Capitol building and the Washington Monument? Independence Hall.
That's in Philadelphia.
I'll let it go for half price. Now get the paint back on your sitting hawk and they're sitting ducks.
Shifty, be sensible. You got $1 million to fight smog. You got another $1 million for the White House. Let's take the $2 million and fly to Guatemala.
Guatemala? What's in Guatemala?
When we get there, us and the $2 million.
Forget it.
All right, then. Let's split the money.
That's the deal. The next $2 million is yours. Honey, have a little faith in me and we'll be in Clover.
We'll be in Leavenworth.
Sweetie, you're arguing with a man who's a proven success. I'm worth $2 million. You haven't got a penny. Go put on the paint.
Wow!
Where is Ellie Mae? I need her to help with the housework.
Granny, there's a maid that does all that.
You can't expect one poor girl to do it all, Jed. There's 1,000 rooms in this hotel.
Oh, Granny! Fetched home a surprise.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Ellie.
What is it, Ellie?
Take a look. Ain't they cute?
Of course it's cute, Ellie. But if there's one thing we don't need right now, it's more critters.
Your pa's right, Ellie. Take 'em back.
But, Granny, I already named them.
Don't matter. Take 'em back.
They's all named after presidents. This one here is George Washington. This one here is Abraham Lincoln. And this one is Theodore Roosevelt.
Take 'em back, Ellie.
This one is Jefferson Davis.
He can stay.
We got so many critters now, Mr. Drysdale has to look after them first.
One poor little Confederate kitten ain't no bother. Besides, Miss Jane is there to help.
Big show inside. Chief? I have got to talk to you.
Did you buy a ticket?
Well, of course not.
Right over there, 25 cents.
What is going on in there?
Buy a ticket and find out.
Chief, this is important. I have got to talk to you.
Not without the ticket. There. Now make it snappy. School will be out pretty soon. I'm expecting a couple 100 kids for the big show.
What big show?
Ellie's animals. If I'm going to take care of them, I might as well make a buck.
Children can see animals at the zoo for nothing.
I've got an act they won't see at the zoo. Fearless leopard woman fights full-grown mountain lion with her bare hands.
Where are you going to find anybody crazy enough to do a thing like that?
See if this fits.
Forget it.
Are you going to disappoint all those children?
And the mountain lion. Now, perhaps you had better listen to the news. Washington, D.C. Bank just phoned. Jed Clampett has written checks for $2 million.
$2 million? Who'd they made out to?
Cash? The bank simply wanted to know if they were good.
Well, I hope you told them no.
Chief, I can't lie.
You can't lie. You can't fight mountain lions. What do I need you for?
Well, for one thing, to take care of the bank while you're putting on kiddie shows.
Don't knock it. 200 kids at 25 cents a throw, that's $75.
That's $50.
So you caught me. You'd be surprised how many people don't. Now hop on a plane to Washington and bring the Clampetts home.
Well, what do I use for money?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's $500. Bring back the change.
That's $300.
So you caught me again. Big deal. Happy landings.
I must say, Chief, you're taking this all very calmly.
Why not? At least the Clampetts aren't in the clutches of that confidence man, Shifty Schaefer.
I said, Mr. President, my pals the Clampetts have spent $2 million on your behalf.
When are we going to see him?
Then I said, if necessary, I'm sure they'd be willing to spend even more.
What did he say?
You should have seen his face.
We'd like to.
He was deeply moved. Tears welled up in his eyes. Have you ever seen a president cry?
We ain't never seen a president do nothing.
Granny, let Miss John tell his story.
What makes you think it's a story? Oh, yes, you mean the account of what happened. Yes. Well, just then, the hotline from the Capitol building rang. Congress was in a turmoil.
How come?
Sitting Hawk has pitched her teepee on the grounds of the Capitol building and will allow no one to enter or leave her property.
Well, that's right. She owns the whole shooting match.
Congress has adjourned. The country is paralyzed. A state of emergency has been declared. No one knows what to do. It's terrible.
Well, why don't we just go over to the Capitol and I'll buy it from her?
What an idea. What a patriotic gesture. Once again, you have saved your country. The president will be overjoyed.
This time we'd like to see the joy.
My doggies, that's just about the prettiest building I ever did see.
It's even bigger than the White House.
I think I see Sitting Hawk.
Where, Jed?
Got her teepee pitched in the bushes yonder.
Isn't it terrible to think that our nation's capital can be barricaded by one stubborn Indian?
Well, now, you gotta remember, she don't trust Potawatomis.
Who?
Politician. They speak with forked tongue.
Oh, yeah.
How much do you reckon that she's going to charge Jed for the Capitol?
Who knows? I'll do my best to bargain with her. Let's go.
How?
Howdy, ma'am.
Sequoia, Manitoba, Ponderosa.
Yep. The tall farmer with a mustache. That's me.
Minnehaha, Zuni.
I know Zuni means doctor. But what's that ha-ha business?
Minnehaha means lovely lady.
Lovely lady doctor. Ain't that nice?
Schlemiel.
What does that mean?
Loosely translated, that means genius.
Sure got you pegged.
Ask her what you take for the Capitol.
Pawtucket wampum powwow wigwam?
Narragansett.
Make an offer.
Don't start too high, Jed. Leave room to dicker.
I will.
You want me to loosen her up with a shot of firewater?
Oh, no. Well, honest, John, I paid her one Allegheny for the White House. Ask her if she'll take that for the Capitol.
We can try. Chickasaw, Wichita, Allegheny?
Okefenokee.
What'd she say?
I'm afraid there's no polite way to interpret that.
I take it she turned me down.
Very rudely.
Powwow, wigwam, Tacoma, Allegheny.
She's asking $2 million.
Tell her to go Okefenokee.
Granny. Well, honest, John, if that's her rock bottom price, I reckon we'll have to meet it.
Tacoma, Allegheny?
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa. It's Sadium.
Shall I, give the check to Princess Sutton Hawk?
No. There's a special congressional committee to handle the acquisition. Make your check payable to, Committee Acquiring Senate Headquarters.
That's a lot to write. Couldn't I just use the initials again?
Good idea. The Washington short form.
Committee Acquiring Senate Headquarters. Well, what do you know? Comes out CASH again.
Honest, John, if Jed is buying the Capitol from Sutton Hawk, why can't she get to keep the money?
She will. But first, Congress has to convert it to buffalo hide.
Well, there you are, Schlemiel.
What was that? Oh, the Indian word for genius, yeah.
Now can we get to see the president?
Of course. First, however, Sitting Hawk has authorized me to offer for sale several other choice parcels of local real estate.
Ixnay.
Ixnay. That's the Washington Monument.
Ixnay. Amscray.
What's Amscray?
That's the Lincoln Memorial. She'll only sell them if you take them both. She doesn't want to break up a set.
Well, I reckon it wouldn't do no harm to look at them.
Well spoken, my friend.
Guatemala. Guatemala pronto.
What'd she say?
She doesn't want to sell the airport. But if she closes it down, where will people land?
Oh, we gotta have an airport.
Yes, now look. You two stroll over and take a look at the capital. I will reason with her in her native language. See you at the hotel.
Sure do hope you can get her to Poughkeepsie to Guatemala.
I'll do my best.
So long, Sittenhawk. Don't take any wooden buffalo hides.
Look at Theodore Roosevelt go after that milk. He's got the best appetite of the bunch.
You know something, Millie? I can't find paranoid no place. Now, schizophrenia neither.
What are you talking about?
Remember in the psycho ward when they said we was either paranoids or schizophrenics? Well, this here map of the world don't show neither one of them countries.
Oh, who cares? We's Americans. Come on, Theodore. Now you can curl up on a bed and take a nap with George Washington.
Found Paraguay, but no paranoid. Come in.
Excuse me, sir. If you're finished, I'll take the dishes.
Oh, sure. Help yourself. Hey, tell me something. Do I look foreign to you?
No. Why?
Well, some folks think we's a family of paranoiacs or schizophrenics.
What folks?
The ones that had us at the psycho ward.
They had you at the psycho ward?
They picked us up just as we was moving into the White House.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I hope you enjoyed your lunch.
Oh, yeah. The first two was real good. They couldn't finish the third. So Ellie may give part of it to Theodore Roosevelt.
Sorry.
Hey, will y'all be quiet? You're gonna wake up George Washington.
George Washington is sleeping in there?
Right over yonder. Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis is in that room.
Swell. Glad they finally made up.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Waiter. Guess what, youngins? I just bought the Capitol building, lock, stock, and sinner.
Dog!
And if the price is right, he's gonna buy the Ixnay and the M scrape.
That's the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, Mr. Waiter, this here's my granny, and that's my pa.
That figures.
Uncle Jed, that Washington Monument is a real moneymaker. Why, they get 10 cents a head just to ride up in the elevator.
I ain't buying it to make money, Jethro. I'm going to turn the whole thing over to the United States government.
Can we go along, Pa? You take the young'uns, Jed. I've got some sheets to wash.
Come on. Honest John's waiting to take it.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, how do you like it?
Real fine, and that sure is a dandy elevator ride for 10 cents.
Now that you're buying it, you can ride free.
My doggies, if an am scraying is pretty as the Ixnay.
And it's all yours for the bargain price of $1 million.
Hey, Uncle Jed, now that you bought the Supreme Court building, can I be a judge?
How about that, Honest John?
It's a cinch. I'll talk to the president.
But Honest John, what would I do with the Pentagon?
We'll figure something. It's too good a bargain to pass up.
Shifty, I've been worried out of my mind.
Relax, Squaw. Chief Lassalute has returned triumphant. Are you ready? You are looking at $10 million in pale-face wampum.
10 million?
And you wanted to quit with 2. Look at this. Smart control. The White House. The Capitol. Washington Monument and Lincoln Memorial. The Zoo. Supreme Court building. The Pentagon. Dulles Airport. Library of Congress. The Potomac River.
You got $1 million for the Potomac River?
It was so polluted, I let it go cheap. What?
Shifty, I gotta hand it to you.
Good idea. That's
That'll be our champagne and caviar.
Who ordered that?
I did. I thought a little celebration is in order. Come in.
Excuse me, I'm looking for some kittens at Mr. Honest John.
Kelly May, just found one of your kittens. Honest John.
Well, would you look at this?
It's Honest John and Setting Hawk.
There's me.
Honest John, I sure never expected this.
Well, you see,
You have got to be the nicest man that ever lived.
well, you see what happened? What?
Who else but you would take in a poor old Indian woman ain't got no place to pitch her teepee?
What?
Ain't I always said it? The man is a living saint.
He's the salt of the earth.
One of nature's noblemen.
I don't know what to say.
You don't need words, Honest John. You speak with deeds of kindness.
I'm going to change this here kitten's name from George Washington to Honest John Schaefer. Because you're the greatest American I know.
Please, don't say that. It's not true.
It sure is.
That's a fact. If everybody was like you, there wouldn't be no wars or riots. All God's children would love one another like they was meant to.
Stop it. Will you?
We ain't said half enough. Why, you must be the finest man that ever lived.
Look, you want to know the kind of man I am? I'm a confidence man.
That's the truth. We got nothing but confidence in you.
You don't know what you're saying.
I don't, huh? When you're the only man that a 150-year-old Indian will trust, you are something special.
All right. Want to hear something? This woman is my wife.
Did you hear that? This blessed man married this poor old hag to make her last days on earth happy.
Listen to me. We work together. We're confederate.
Glory be if all the people were like you, the South will rise again. Oh, God bless you, honeymooners.
Granny, I think we'd best get out of here before we all go to bawling.
Wait a minute. Here. Take your 10 million back.
Why? It's yours and hers.
We don't want it. We don't need it.
What's the matter? Was it something we said?
It's everything you said. Here.
Well, I'm not taking it back.
Well, I'm not keeping it. Happy New Year. Well, Holland, let's go in the other teepee.
Well, if that don't beat all.
It's our own fault, Granny. We overpraised him. You just can't do that to a modest man. Well, come on, everybody.
Elway's presentation.
Hey, Granny, I'm awful hungry. Can I have some...
Don't bother me now, boy. I got a medical emergency.
Where are you going, Granny?
Medical emergency. Here I am, Ellie. Who's ailing? One of the neighbors?
No, ma'am. It's Fairchild.
You're Bear. You call me the doctor of varmint?
Fairchild ain't no varmint.
Well, he ain't people, and I'm a people doctor.
Well, take a look at him. He's breathing heavy, and he moans considerable, and his nose is warm. Please, doctor.
Well, I have swore an oath to end suffering wherever I finds it. All right.
Oh, thank you. Dr. Granny's gonna make you well, Fairchild.
Stick out your tongue.
Maybe you'd better reach into his mouth and get it.
Uh-huh. Now, let's hear how this chest sounds. Say 99. 99.
He can't talk.
Oh, I forgot. He's got the croup, Ellie, and a touch of the grizzly fever.
Can you cure him?
Oh, sure. I'll cook up a strong poultice for his chest. That'll draw out the inflammation. Now, you keep him warm.
Yes?
Oh, Miss Hathaway, there's an admiral here to see you.
Admiral?
Well, he's handsome enough to be an admiral, divinely tall, broad shoulders, one of those rugged men of the sea.
Ask him to come in.
If you're busy, I could entertain him.
I'm not busy.
Too bad. Come in, sir. All right, girls, back to the secretarial pool.
You may go too, Darlene. Yes, Lieutenant.
Are you Jane Hathaway?
That is correct. Miss Jane Hathaway.
I miss darling Mattingly.
You may go, Miss Mattingly.
My name is Templeton.
Of course, Matthew Templeton. Well, you're the man I found in the forest.
What forest is that?
You may go, Darlene.
That was my brother you found in the forest, Miss Hathaway. My name is Mark Templeton.
Well, the resemblance is striking.
Well, we're often mistaken for one another. I'm looking for the Clampetts, and my brother said that you could put me in touch with them.
Indeed, I can. I'll give you their address and telephone number. Matter of fact, if you need transportation, I'll be happy to drive you over.
I have a car, but I would appreciate an introduction.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. As soon as Mr. Drysdale returns, we'll drive over.
All right, what's going on here?
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Hathaway is entertaining a very handsome Navy man in your office.
Oh, she is she? Well, back to your desks. And no coffee breaks today. Miss Hathaway, this is a bank, not the USO. Bring it up.
Chief, may I present Lieutenant Mark Templeton of the United States Navy?
Oh, are you here to open an account?
No, sir.
Make a loan?
No, sir.
Shove off, sailor. Chief! Anchors away, both of you. I'm a busy man.
But, Chief...
Out!
Well, Lieutenant, I am terribly sorry. Mr. Drysdale's been in a foul mood ever since interest rates went down.
How's the bear poultice coming, Doctor?
Got it all cooked, Ellie. Now we'll just let it cool a mite.
Sure smells strong. What's in it?
Well, your base is skunk oil and turpentine. Then you thicken that with sulfur, dog bane, stinkweed, rock salt, hog bristles, and minced beetles. And then right at the last, I stir in a double handful of diced cockleburrs and night crawlers. Now, while it's cooling, we'll take his temperature and we'll check his pulse.
It's gone!
Great gut got it!
Jethro! Did you eat what was in that pot?
Yeah. And from the way it tasted, you must have cooked it.
I cooked that.
You're slipping, Granny. That's all I could do to choke it down.
Greetings, Mr. Clampett.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
I'll bet this gentleman looks familiar to you.
He does for a fact. You're that preacher from back in the hills, Matthew Templeton.
Well, actually, I'm his brother, Mark.
Aren't they look-alikes?
Like two peas in a pod.
I understand there was a little mix-up with my brother.
There was for a fact. Granny had him and my daughter Ellie halfway down the aisle before she found out he was married.
Matthew was awfully upset about that.
Not as upset as Granny.
Well, come on inside and meet the family.
Beautiful home you have here, Mr. Clampett.
Yeah, thank you. It's a lot more than we need.
Jed, I'm out of rock salt. And it's the married preacher that nearly broke Ellie's heart. Keep your gun on him, Jed.
They just look-alikes, Granny. That's the preacher's brother.
Granny, this is Lieutenant Mark Templeton. And he's not married.
I'm pleased to meet you, Granny.
You ain't got a wife?
No, ma'am.
You're absolutely 100% single?
Yes, ma'am.
Engaged?
No, ma'am.
I'm glad to make your acquaintance. Take him into the parlor, Miss Jane. Keep your gun on him, Jed.
What for?
We ain't letting this one get away. outside before it smells up the whole house. Company's here to see you.
Who is it?
Remember that handsome preacher back in the hills?
Sure do.
Well, this is his brother. And he's bigger and handsomer and singler.
And he's here to see me?
He ain't here to see me. Now get upstairs and do what I...
Look, Granny. My bear's up and gone. He must be well.
Good. Now get upstairs and scrub yourself with lye soap. It's the only thing that'll cut that skunk oil.
Yes, Granny.
I declare you are gamier than a goat in August.
Ellie is a perfectly lovely girl, Lieutenant. You'll... Oh, here she comes now.
Get going, Ellie.
That was Ellie?
No, Nellie. She's our hired girl. Poor thing, she was emptying the garbage and fell in it. Ellie's up in her boudoir doing some fancy sewing and jotting down some of her famous recipes and having her picture took for the cover of a beauty magazine. I'll go tell her you're here.
You'll like Ellie, Lieutenant. She's really something.
So's Granny.
Yeah.
Where's Miss Hathaway?
She went up to the Clampetts with Lieutenant Templeton.
He's a friend of the Clampetts?
Well, he's gone up there to meet Ellie Mae. Lucky girl.
And I threw him out of my office. Oh, this is terrible.
I'm coming. Hey, come in, Mr. Drysdale.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett. Well, what do you think of my boy, Lieutenant Templeton?
Your boy?
Well, didn't Miss Hathaway tell you that I'm the one who sent him over to meet Ellie Mae?
Well, no, sir, she didn't.
Well, no. I handpicked that lad from the entire United States Navy.
You sure picked a dandy.
Well, I told you I'd be the one to find the right man for Ellie.
You know him well, do you?
He's like my own son.
Is that a fact?
Why, yes. Mark and I...
Chief! What are you doing here?
Well, you may ask. Shame on you. You didn't tell Mr. Clampett everything.
About what?
Never mind, I won't embarrass you. Let's go.
Well, it's the terrible-tempered Mr. Drysdale.
You never forget, do you? I had to speak rather sharply to him in the office. He's always been a sensitive lad. Well, see you later, Mark, my boy.
Mark, my boy?
Yeah, Mr. Drysdale said you're like a son to him.
Oh, brother.
Oh, you're right. Brother is better. I'm a little young to be a father, Image. Let's go.
Well, here comes Ellie Mae. Now you two can get acquainted, Mark.
Wow. Ah, Ellie Mae. Allow me to present Lieutenant Mark Templeton of the United States Navy.
Howdy, Mark. Pleased to meet you.
The pleasure is mine, Ellie Mae.
Now that I've brought you together, may the ship of happiness carry you across the sea of tranquility into the harbor of bliss. Bon voyage, my children.
Chief, you are the biggest phony, the lowest fink, the most unprincipled scoundrel who ever lived.
Thanks. I needed that. Let's go.
Now then, you young'uns sit right here in the parlor and get acquainted.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Ellie Mae, if you want to serve refreshments, there is cider and icebox.
Thank you, Paul.
Nice cold glass of cider sounds pretty good to me right now. How about you, Granny? Granny? Granny,
What do you want, Jed?
how about a cold glass of cider?
Yeah, bring me a tall one. Now, Mrs. Templeton, there's a few questions I would like to ask you.
Granny,
What do you want, Jed?
I need you in the kitchen.
You young'uns will have to excuse me. He needs me. He's a widower, you know. It's sad when a man ain't got a wife to look after him. Pitiful. I hope that never happens.
Granny.
I'm coming, Jed.
Just amazing how much you look like your brother.
Well, it's just amazing how much you look like the hired girl.
Well, we ain't got no hired girl.
I kind of figured it couldn't be two as pretty as you.
What do you want, Jed?
I want you to leave them young'uns alone.
Wouldn't you like to know something about the man that is proposing to your daughter?
Granny, they ain't even shook hands yet.
How do you know for sure? That fella's a sailor. They's fast workers.
Granny, will you just leave them alone for a spell?
Jed, it's a father's duty to know something about the man that's courting his daughter.
I don't know. For starters, he's nice looking, he's single, he's an officer, and Mr. Drysdale handpicked him out of the whole United States Navy.
Ain't that awful dangerous, spending so much time underwater?
Well, we go through a very thorough training course, the Frogman program, before we ever start working with the porpoises and whales.
How do you work with them?
Right now, we're conducting experiments and communicating with them. We think we might be able to interpret their language.
You mean they talk?
In a sense, yes. They emit a series of sounds which we're trying to decode and understand.
Bet you I could understand them.
What makes you think so?
Well, Pa says if you can understand Jethro, you can understand anything.
I gotta do some chores outside.
Yeah, you run along, Jed.
Now, before I go, I want you to promise me that you'll stay in this kitchen and leave them young'uns alone.
I promise.
Granny, can we have that cider now?
Oh, sure, honey. How are you two getting along?
Oh, fine and dandy.
You like him?
Sure do. You know what? He spends a lot of time in the ocean.
I suppose he does. On the boat.
No, ma'am, underwater, swimming around.
Why would he want to do that?
Well, he's learning to talk to critters that live in the ocean.
He talks to fish?
Well, sort of. Whales and porpoises and such. Why, he can stay underwater for better than an hour.
Land sakes. That ain't human.
Can I be of any help?
Oh, no. Ellie, you take the cider into the parlor. I want to have a word with Mark here.
Yes, Granny.
My granddaughter tells me that you spend lots of time swimming around in the ocean.
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
She tells me that you talk to the critters who live in the ocean.
Well, I tried to.
She tells me that you can stay under the water for better than an hour.
That's right, I can.
Ain't that hard to do?
Not for me. I'm a frogman.
You're a what?
I'm a naval frogman. Well, excuse me.
Oh, no.
Hey, Granny, that second batch of stew is better than the first. Not as salty. Hey, Granny, what's the matter?
Oh, Jethro, I just had a terrible shock.
What is it?
Your cousin Ellie has fell for a freak.
A freak?
He's half man and half frog. Oh, from the waist up, he's beautiful. But from the navel down, he's pure frog.
You'll see, Elliot. Being a frogman isn't as dangerous as it sounds. We're carefully trained, and the Navy provides us with the very finest gear. This wetsuit keeps me warm, even at depths where the ocean temperatures might be 30 or 40 degrees. And these flippers give me great underwater propulsion. Say, I got an idea. You have a swimming pool?
Sure do, a great big one.
Suppose I demonstrate it for you.
Oh, fine and dandy. Could I put on my swimming suit and join you?
Great. Where's the pool?
Oh, around back. And there's a dressing room where you can change.
See you there.
Saints in heaven. It's worse than I thought. The frog half has taken over. There he goes. Must have spotted a fly. Ellie, honey, don't go up there.
Well, why not? I hear Mark splashing around in the pool.
Yeah, well, hearing him is one thing. Seeing him is something else.
What do you mean?
Ellie, remember when we had such high hopes for his brother Matthew, and he turned out to be married?
Yes'm, but Mark is single.
And I found out why. Get a grip on yourself. He's a frog man.
Oh, I know that. He told me.
Don't it worry you?
Well, yes'm, it does. But he says it's nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Well, that's easy for him to say.
Mark says there's lots of frogmen in the Navy, and they do real important jobs. Well, like when the astronauts drops in the ocean, it's the frogmen that rescues them.
Well, I ain't saying they ain't useful, but you don't want to marry one.
Why not?
Why not? Have you ever seen a frogman?
No, ma'am.
Well, all right, go ahead. One look will cure you. Poor darling, she's in for an awful shock. Of course, it could be worse. Thank goodness the top half ain't frog.
Jethro, you seen anything of Granny?
Not lately.
I sure wish she'd show up and cook some victuals for our company.
Don't be too anxious. Did you taste that stew she made?
No.
It was awful. Hey, Granny, I'm hungry.
Get out of here, boy. I got a serious family problem to take up with your Uncle Jim.
Ain't you gonna cook no victuals?
No, I ain't. Now, scat.
Granny, I think it'd be kind of nice if you was to fix something for Ellie's date.
I don't cook bugs.
Bug?
I ain't too sure of that after eating your stew.
Get out of here! Well, Jed Clampett, so you didn't want me to ask that Templeton boy any serious questions about himself.
That's right.
I suppose it's all right with you if he just goes ahead and marries Ellie May.
After a proper courtship, could be.
Some courtship. If she kisses him, she'll get warts.
Warts?
I reckon that they'll be married in the cement pond, and you will just float your daughter up to him on a lily pad.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Mark Templeton. You don't know one thing about him.
Well, Granny, I told you Mr. Drysdale handpicked him.
Where'd he find him? In a pet shop?
That don't make sense.
It'll make sense when your grandchildren turn out to be tadpoles.
You been at your white lightning?
No, but it's a good idea. Let's have it.
Not till you explain all that crazy talk.
One picture is worth 1,000 words. Go down to the cement pond and take a look for yourself.
Take a look at what?
At what Mr. Drysdale wants your daughter to marry. And hang on to that jug. You're gonna need it.
Boy, you ought to see that Mark Templeton swim. He can really shoot through the water.
So could you if you had his hind legs.
Hind legs? Oh, well, anyway, Pa, he wants to know, can he take me out to victuals tonight?
Why, sure he can.
Good.
Don't let him order for you, honey. You'll wind up with a plate of grasshoppers.
Granny, I think you better go lay down for a spell.
I'll drink to that. Let's have it.
Mr. Clampett, would you and Granny like to join Ellie and me for dinner?
Oh, no thanks, Mark. You young'uns won't want us tagging along.
I thought we'd hop down to the beach.
That figures.
By the way, do you have some shoe polish I could borrow?
You betcha.
I'll fetch it, Jed. It beats me how you can squeeze into them shoes. Your feet must be killing you.
What do you mean by that?
Don't pay no attention to her. The way she's acting today, this must have been a bad batch.
The lunatic has bought a log cabin. No electricity, no telephone.
That doesn't really sound that crazy for Grandpa.
Ned Fleming went in search of his grandfather.
Isn't this great? Oh, it's terrific. Are we finished bonding yet?
What he found
You can see I'm not a bonder. I'm a lawyer.
was himself.
Maybe for the first time, you feel alive.
It's taken me 20 years to become a part of your life. I'm staying right here.
Mel Harris and Edward Asner star in Out of the Woods. Premieres tonight at 8 on Hallmark Channel.
Y'all come back now. Here.
This has been a Filmways presentation.
The
Granny, what are you doing up again?
I want to see if Ellie's home yet.
I told you before, stop worrying about Ellie.
But, Jed, your only daughter's out with a sailor.
I know that.
He ain't only a sailor. He's a frogman.
I know that, too. Now, go on to bed. Ellie can take care of herself.
sure do thank you for a wonderful evening, Mark.
Can't we just sit here and talk for a while?
I see the light on in Granny's room. I reckon she's waiting up for me.
I wish Granny had stopped worrying about me being a frogman. Really seems to upset her.
I reckon she figures it's kind of dangerous, being underwater so much.
It's not all that dangerous. And it's a fascinating new frontier, the unexplored depths of the ocean. I hope to show it to you soon.
I'd love to see it.
Do you suppose I could get Granny down there?
Oh, I doubt it. She's awful scared of water.
He's got her in the parlor. Cut loose of my granddaughter, you fiend!
Be quiet, Granny.
What's going on in here?
I'm watching the early, late monster movie. Have you ever seen the creature from the slimy ooze?
Your cousin Ellie's out with it.
That rascal just grabbed a beautiful blonde girl, and now he don't know whether to take her to his world at the bottom of the swamp or to live in her world, a Park Avenue penthouse.
Jethro!
There he goes. He's dragging her down into the slimy ooze. Hot dog! Ain't he a dandy?
What a family. They's all hooked on freaks.
Well, the scientists. They's all good guys.
Oh, what's the use?
Granny!
Ellie, honey, are you all right? Where's the frogman? Did he try and take you to his swamp?
Of course not.
Well, run quick to the kitchen. Cut a tater in two. Rub yourself good with it, and then bury it.
What for?
So you won't get warts.
Granny, you leave that girl alone and go to bed.
You want her to get warts?
I want her to get some sleep, and you too. Did you have a nice evening, Ellie?
Oh, fine dandy, Paul. Mark and me's going on a picnic tomorrow.
Fine. Get to bed now.
What a family. His daughter's out with a frog. Did you have a nice evening, Ellie? Just dandy, Paul.
Hey, Granny, you want to see the giant pussycat that ate the lizard that ate Philadelphia?
No, I don't.
Where you going?
I'm going to check the weather signs. It might rain tomorrow, and there won't be no picnic. Of course, they wouldn't be bothered with ants. He'd eat them. Is that you, Mark? Just my luck. Gonna be a nice day tomorrow.
Hey, Granny, come on in. I switched channels and got an even better picture. The Wolfman marries Snow White.
Turn that thing off and go to bed. I'm gonna have nightmares as it is.
Hot dog! There goes the wet.
Granny, come in, come in. How long have you been waiting?
Ever since the bank building opened this morning. I gotta talk to somebody who's smart, and you're the smartest person I know.
Well, Granny, that's very flattering. Although I don't look too intelligent with this raincoat and umbrella. I thought it was going to rain today.
No, it's going to be nice. They'll get to have their picnic.
Who's they?
Ellie Mae and that Navy man, Mark Templeton.
Oh. Tell me, Granny, what do you think of Mr. Templeton?
What do you think of him?
Well, he seems like a fine, eligible young man. Good looking, too.
Then you ain't never been swimming with him, have you?
No, why do you ask?
Never mind. What you don't know won't keep you awake. I had me some bad dreams last night.
What about?
Well, mostly I dreamed that Ellie married a frog.
A frog?
Well, not all frog. The top half was man.
Sort of an aquatic centaur.
What's that?
Well, a centaur is half man and half horse.
Man sakes, that's worse than being half frog.
Then there's a satyr, part man and part goat.
No.
Oh, yes, Pan, the child of Penelope, was goat from the waist down.
Oh, good heavens, what did Penelope do for him?
Well, there was nothing she could do. Only Zeus could have changed him.
Could you get me that Zeus on the telephone? He sounds like quite a doctor.
Granny, he exists only in Greek mythology. On Mount Olympus.
Well, if it's long distance, I'd be glad to pay for it.
No, I don't mean that.
Don't make house calls, huh?
Definitely not.
Too bad. Them old-time mountain doctors is the best. I ought to know. I'm one myself.
Hey, that's right, you are.
By golly, Miss Jane, I think I can cure that frog, Ben.
Well, since he seems to exist only in your nocturnal fantasies, I would say you're the only one who can cure him.
I'll do it. I'll make a potion, a conjure.
Well, as long as it brings sound sleep, it should be efficacious.
I don't think I got any of that. But I can always stop at a drugstore.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway. Granny, what a pleasant surprise. What are you doing? You're not here to make a withdrawal, are you?
No, I come to get some advice from Miss Jane. She's a smart woman.
Oh, you bet she is.
She helped me solve a problem that's been keeping me awake at night.
Well, good.
I don't know what you pay her, but she deserves a raise.
Well, I'll see that she gets it.
It's a promise.
Of course, the moment you leave here, Miss Hathaway will get a raise.
Good. Bye now, and thanks.
Goodbye, Granny.
Bye, Granny.
Miss Hathaway, a promise is a promise.
This is my raise.
That's it? Now let's get to work.
What you doing, Ellie? I thought you and Mark was going on a picnic.
We are, Pop. That's what I'm fixing victuals for.
Honey, why don't you let Granny fix it?
Well, she's been gone all morning. Besides, Mark ain't never tasted my cooking.
Yeah, I know. Well, what do you make?
Well, I asked him what he liked, and he said spaghetti, meatballs, and garlic bread.
I see.
I don't know how to make garlic bread, so I made garlic donuts.
You did.
Yes, sir. Try one. Taste my spaghetti and my meatballs, too.
I sure will. Ellie, you know what'd go good with this?
What?
Nice, cool pickled pawpaws from down the root cellar.
I'll go fetch a jar.
It rests mighty heavy on a man's stomach. I gotta say that your spaghetti and meatballs is every bit as good as your garlic donuts.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you run upstairs and put on a dress and get all prettied up for when Mark comes.
Well, I gotta pack my picnic basket first.
I'll do that. You run along.
Yes, sir. And I sure am glad you like my cooking.
It's outstanding.
What's going on in here?
I've been cooking picnic victuals, Granny.
Get this stuff out of here, Jed. I need my stove and my kitchen.
Don't worry, I'm going to take this out and bury it. While I'm doing that, you fix up a nice picnic lunch for Mark and Ellie.
Ain't got no time. I'm setting up a scientific medical experiment.
Can't you just throw together a few sandwiches?
No, I got to throw together a prescription.
Well, Mark will be here in a minute.
Then get out of here. I have important doctor work to do.
What kind?
You wouldn't understand.
Well, I might.
Do you know the difference betwixt a centaur and a satyr?
Who?
Are you acquainted with a mountain doctor of Olympus by the name of Zeus?
Who?
Did you ever hear of Penelope's young'un, Pan, the goat boy? See? Get out of here!
Hey, Granny, how about some victuals?
Don't bother me. I gotta make an anti-frog serum.
Hey, but I'm starving.
Then starve outside. This kitchen is off limits. It's a scientific laboratory. Now you sit outside and you stay out.
Hey, Uncle Jed, what you doing?
Fixing to bury a basket full of victuals?
Hey, give them to me. I'm starving.
Help yourself. Ellie Mae cooked them.
Bury him.
Hey, boy, I got an idea. You know where to get spaghetti and meatballs and such?
Well, sure. Big Mama Nacarelli's, where the pizza goes round and round in the sky, and Big Mama smiles down at you.
Well, you have her fill up that basket with spaghetti and meatballs and garlic bread and everything that goes with it.
I'll do her.
And hurry back.
Yes, sir.
Secret powders, yarbs, and juice work for me like Dr. Zeus. Eye of a newt, hair of a dog, cure the part of him that's frog. That's it. Come on, hurry up. Time is short.
Ellie Mae, I think Mark is here. Well, come in, young fella. Ellie Mae will be right down.
Well, thank you, Mr. Private.
She has cooked you your favorite victuals, spaghetti, meatballs, and garlic donut. Bread.
I love Italian food. Every chance I get, I go to Mama Nacarelli's.
Well, I think you'll find your picnic lunch today every bit as good.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, Ellie Mae.
Ellie, why don't you wear a dress? Mark will think you're a boy.
No way.
Where's my picnic basket, Pa?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What did I do with that? You wait right here. I'll find it. Come on, Jethro.
Come on, Potion.
Hurry up, Jethro.
Hurry up, Potion.
Let's have the basket, boy.
Here you are.
This Italian food sure don't weigh much, does it?
Heck, it don't. I must have gained 20 pounds.
You ate it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, run. Hurry up. Get another basket.
No, thanks. I ain't hungry.
Oh, did you find it? Oh, good. It's empty.
Jethro, gobble it up.
You big old dumb nut! I'm gonna break every bone in your head.
Wait. No, Ellie!
Oh, Mark, you're here. Good. Quick, drink this down.
What is it?
Never mind. It'll make you feel better.
I feel fine.
Well, it'll make you look better. Your eyeballs are a mite bloodshot.
Oh, that's just a little sinus condition from spending so much time underwater.
Well, this'll cure that. Now drink it down.
But what is it?
Do you want to be a frog man the rest of your life?
Well, no, but
Well, then bottoms up.
I don't like drinking anything.
You ever want to see my granddaughter again?
I certainly do.
Then do as I tell you.
Cheers. Oh, that's awful.
What?
Awful good.
How do you feel? Do you feel a little tingly in your feet and your legs?
Everywhere.
Mark, I'm awful sorry, but Jethro ate all the Italian victuals for the picnic.
That's all right, Mr. Private. We'll stop at Mama Nacarelli's and get some.
Well, Jethro's on his way over there to do that right now, and Ellie went along to ride shotgun, so to speak.
Matter of fact, I think I'll drive on over to Mama Nacarelli's and pick Ellie up there.
Well, fine. Have a nice picnic.
You're not going to need this.
Doggone it, he got away. Now I won't know if my potion worked or not. Mark? Is that you? Mark, merciful heavens, my potion worked the wrong way. Instead of old man, I got all frog.
Ready? What you doing? Ain't that Mark's coat and cap?
Yeah, got a spot on it. I gotta clean it for him. touch of indigestion. I'd best take something for this real soon.
It was a wonderful picnic, Ellie. I really enjoyed it.
So did I. But I'm sorry that you didn't get to eat my cooking.
Well, there'll be other times, I hope.
Me too. So, would you like to go for a swim?
I'd love to, but I'm due at the recruiting office in 10 minutes. Maybe I can get away later.
Sure do hope so.
I'll do my best. Have you seen my coat and cap? I left them on that bench.
Oh, poor Granny likely took them inside.
Now, I'll pick them up another time. I've got to run.
I think this red potion will do it, Mark. It's just a reverse of what I give you before. Now open your mouth and swallow this down. Oh, this will taste better than that green stuff, I promise you. Come on now. Open your mouth and swallow it down.
What you doing now?
Oh, Jed, I'm giving Ellie's frog some tonic. He looks a mite peaked.
Granny, I've never knowed you to take on so over one of Ellie's critters.
Well, this one's found a special place in my heart, Jed. He's cute.
You don't look very cute to me. Well, Ellie, you're back. Where's Mark?
Well, he's gone, Pa, but I'm hoping he'll come back.
Oh, he will, darling. He will, I promise. And if I can't do it, I'll get a hold of Dr. Zeus.
Really, there's really no way to get in touch with Zeus. He was an ancient Greek deity, but no longer.
Passed on, did he?
Well, you might say that.
Well, as long as the old fella had a rich, full life.
He did indeed.
Well, Miss Jane, let me ask you this. With him gone, how would a person go about turning a frog into a man?
Still having bad dreams about frogs.
If I don't pull this off, tonight's gonna be a doozy.
Well, of course, there's a classic story about the beautiful maiden who kissed the frog and turned him into a handsome prince.
Bless you, Miss Jane. If I pull this off, I'm gonna get you a mess of frogs, and you can kiss your way to paradise.
Granny? Granny, you here?
Granny left quite a spell ago, Pa.
Did she cook anything before she left?
Don't think so.
I'm getting about as desperate for victuals as Jethro.
Well, if Mark don't come pretty soon, I'll cook you something.
Oh, he'll come. I just know he will.
Ellie Mae!
In here, Granny.
Ellie Mae, you got it. Jed, would you leave us alone, please?
When you gonna cook some victuals?
Well, you go to the kitchen and wait. I'll be right there. Ellie Mae, you gotta do me a favor.
Well, Granny, I'm expecting Mark to come back any minute.
He will. He will. If you just do as I asked you.
What is it?
Take that frog out of the cage and kiss him.
Kiss him? What for?
Oh, please don't ask questions, darling. Just give him a big, sweet kiss.
But, Granny.
Sweetheart, if you ever want to see Mark again, do as I say. Take that frog out of the cage and kiss him.
All right.
I won't look.
Come in. Oh, hi, Mark. Are we going swimming?
Sorry, Ellie. I had to get back to the recruiting office.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, too. Oh, well. Here's your coat and cap.
Where'd the frog come from?
Oh, it's Granny. She wants me to kiss it.
Kiss it? What for?
She won't tell me.
Maybe she thinks it'll turn into a prince. Who needs competition? Come here.
Glory be, it worked.
Weeknights on Hallmark. Watch great stories.
I'm an angel.
And witness the miracles. Touched by an Angel. Weeknights at 8 on the Hallmark Channel. The Hallmark Channel mystery movie double feature to solve this case.
Are you talking about revenge?
There is the question.
Samantha Kinsey will have to get in tune with the killer.
Looking for something?
Kelly Martin stars in Mystery Woman tomorrow night at 9, right after Jane Doe on Hallmark Channel.
Come back now. Here.
This has been a FilmWise present.
You see, Dukes? Now that's how you do it. Now you try it.
You still trying to learn that old hound dog to fetch a stick?
Yeah. Ellie's fella's coming over, and I want him to think we got us a smart dog. Now watch, Duke.
Ellie's fella is going to think he's a real smart dog. The only dog in town got a boy that fetches sticks.
He's the one that's supposed to do it, not me. Tell you something, Uncle Jed. He ain't too bright.
He's too bright to fetch sticks.
Is Ellie's fella here yet?
No, and when he comes, you make yourself scarce.
What you mean?
Now, don't go pestering him with questions right off. Let him and Ellie be alone for a while first. Leave the boy be.
Did you hear that, Jethro? Leave the boy be. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be a boy. He'd be a frog.
Granny, you mean frog man.
I said a frog. A web-footed, bulgy-eyed, fly-snapping frog.
Granny, Mark Templeton is what you call a naval frog man.
He was when he come here. From the navel down, he was frog. Then I give him a potion what was supposed to make him into all man. But it backfired on me, and it made him all frog.
Do you expect me to believe that?
Do you expect to eat today?
I believe it.
Then I had Ellie kiss the frog, and that changed him into all man.
That's wild.
What?
But true, true. Hey, yonder he comes.
Oh, I wish I could get a look at his feet and legs. I don't know whether Ellie's kiss changed him into all man or just half and half again. Here. Be down directly. Come on in the parlor.
Thank you.
Sit down. Take off your shoes.
Take off my shoes?
Yeah. Get comfortable. Put your feet up here on the coffee table and let's have a look at them.
You want to see my feet?
I can tell your fortune that way.
I've heard of palm readers, but...
I'm a foot reader. Let's have a look.
Granny, I feel kind of embarrassed.
You got something to hide?
No, but my feet aren't exactly my best feature.
They ain't webbed, are they?
No, they weren't the last time I looked.
We'll check them. Beautiful. You got a perfectly formed human foot.
Well, thank you. What about my fortune?
Oh, yeah. I see a beautiful blonde young lady has come into your life. Right?
Right?
She lives in a big mansion in Beverly Hills. Right?
Right?
Her name is Ellie Mae Clampett.
Right.
Did I tell you I was a foot reader?
What's going on in here?
Oh, hello, Mr. Clampett. Granny wanted to see my foot.
I want to see her. Come here.
You can put your shoe back on now. Take 2 aspirin and let me know if you have any more trouble.
What was that all about?
Jed, I'm a doctor. The boy had a splinter in his foot.
Did you get it out?
Oh, everything come out just fine.
Is Mark in the parlor?
Yes, Ellie. I'll take you to him.
Oh, she can find her.
Fur. I'm an old woman. I'm tired and worn out. Have a little mercy.
Promise you won't say nothing?
Not a word will I speak.
Okay, but I'll go along just to make sure. Excuse us, young'uns. We just passing through.
Dum-dum-da-dum, dum-dum-da-dum.
Granny.
I didn't say nothing, not a word. Dum-dum-da-dum.
Your grandmother's quite a character.
What do you mean?
Well, if you don't know, I can't explain it. It's nice to be alone, isn't it?
Sure is.
You know, Ellie?
Where's Granny and Uncle Jed?
They went that way.
Hey, look what just come in the mail. Old Jim Owens has wrote a book.
Well, that's wonderful. Why don't you take it someplace and read it?
Okay. It's called Jim Owens' Hillbilly Humor. That means jokes and such.
Thanks.
Two hill women was talking, and one says, "What do you think of red china?" And the other says, "I think with a yeller tablecloth, it'd be real pretty." Hey, here's another one. Old Jim says this country was better off when we had more whittlers and fewer chiselers. Hey, here's a dandy. Listen to this.
Jethro, you're not going to read that whole book, are you?
No. We can take turns.
No, thanks. Why don't you read it to your granny and Uncle Jed?
Good idea. I'll call them in.
No. That isn't what I had in mind.
Jethro, we'd like to be alone.
You gonna neck?
Jethro!
Jethro, what are you doing in here?
I'm reading him this book that come in the mail.
Well, let's read it outside.
You read it. I'm gonna stay here and watch him neck.
Come on, boy, let's go. Old Duke is waiting for you to fetch sticks.
Your cousin Jethro's quite a character, too.
Right so. Well, we's alone at last.
Yes. Ellie Mae, there's something I'd like to tell you.
What is it, Mort?
Your granny's watching us.
What you want, Granny?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to see if you was comfortable.
We're fine.
Anything you want or anything you need?
Not a thing.
You know, it's amazing how much you look like your brother, Matthew. The one that's the preacher. The one that's married. The one that's happy.
He seems happy.
Must be right handy to have a brother that's a preacher.
What do you mean?
Well, if there's a wedding in the family, it's free.
I never thought of that.
Think about it.
Youngins, I'm awful sorry for... Granny,
Now, don't get upset. I'm only checking on Mark's foot.
let's go.
Let me know if you want anything, young'uns, like lemonade or cider or rice or old shoes or orange blossoms.
I'm awful sorry for all these interruptions, Mark.
Well, that's okay.
Well, I think we's finally by ourselves.
It looks that way.
You started to say there was something that you wanted to tell me.
Yes, there is, Ellie. You're the most beautiful girl I've ever met.
Oh, well, thank you.
You have the softest, silkiest hair, most beautiful blue eyes, loveliest complexion, most tempting lips, and the most ridiculous cousin who ever lived.
I was right. This beats Jim Owens' book. Go ahead, kiss her.
Jethro, I'm going to turn you every way but loose.
Miss Jane, can I see you a minute?
Granny, of course. Come in. Sit down.
No, I can't wait. I just wanted to tell you that everything is just fine betwixt Ellie Mae and that Templeton fella.
Good. No more bad dreams about his being half frog?
Not a one. First, I mixed up a potion, but it worked in reverse. It turned him into all frog.
What a nightmare that must have been.
It was terrible. But then you told me the story about the pretty girl kissing the frog and turning him into a handsome fella, and that worked just dandy.
Wonderful.
Even his feet is perfect.
His feet?
Oh, Miss Jane, you should have seen him. They was that long and black and webbed, just like a frog.
But everything's all right now. You're sleeping well again.
Thanks to you. And just to show my appreciation, I brought you a present.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
Well, you're single, and you could use a nice, handsome fella, couldn't you?
That's my present?
You wait right here. Here you are.
It's a frog.
And he's all yours. He don't look like much, but when you kiss him...
Granny, I don't really believe he'll turn into a handsome man.
Well, he might not turn into a movie star. Can't be a winner all the time. But what have you got to lose? Go on. Give him a big smooch.
Aren't too embarrassed.
Oh, sure, I understand. I'll wait up here and turn my back.
Believe me, I wish it were possible.
Who put this ugly frog on my desk?
I did.
Oh, Granny. Oh, he's yours? Oh.
Hi there, Mr. Frog. Say, you're a cute little fella.
He ain't a fella yet, but he might be after Miss Jane's kiss.
Kiss?
Oh, Granny believes there's some validity to the old story about the maiden who kisses the frog and turns him into a handsome man.
Granny, that's ridiculous.
I say it ain't. I say I seen it happen. Now, are you saying I'm a liar?
Oh, absolutely not. But if you think Miss Hathaway should kiss the frog...
I think she ought to try it.
Hathaway, hook her up.
Oh, but she
don't have to do it in front of us. In fact, if she'd rather not, she don't have to kiss him at all.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
You can have his hind legs for supper. That's the beauty of a frog. You can kiss him or cook him.
Pa, would it be all right with you if Mark learns me to scuba?
Well, that depends on what that means.
Well, it means getting to a rubber suit and learning to swim underwater like a frogman.
Well, as long as there ain't no danger to it.
Oh, Mark will take good care of me. Don't you worry.
Ellie says to tell you she'll be right here, Mark.
Thank you, Granny.
You sure do like the water.
I love it.
It's as though you was drawn to it.
I could practically live in the water, Granny.
Ah! Look at your feet. You got frog feet.
That's right. These are my flippers.
Oh.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mark.
Terry, you gotta keep that boy out of the water.
Why, Granny?
'Cause every time he gets wet, he turns to frog. He put his feet in the cement pond. Look what happened.
Well, them's his flippers, Granny. They help him to swim fast.
Well, don't let him put nothing else in the water.
Come on, Granny. You said you were going to leave the young'uns alone.
Look at it this way, Duke. You're a Beverly Hills dog now. You got to have some class. You don't want to be the only dog in the neighborhood that can't do no tricks. Let's try it again. Go on, boy, fetch it. Get it. Come on, boy. Come on, you can do it. Come on, hurry up now, boy. Go, hurry. Go. Oh, I'll show you one more time. Now watch. See, now that's class.
What are you doing, Jethro?
Try to teach this dumb old hound dog to fetch a stick.
You want to do something. Get him to fetch that Mark Templeton out of the cement pond.
Well, what for?
So he won't turn into a frogman again.
Granny, he is a frogman. Now, why don't you leave him alone?
Don't it bother you that your cousin Ellie might marry a thing like that?
Heck no. I'd like to be a frogman myself.
Are you listening up there? Would you believe this family of nuts that I'm stuck with? Give me a sign. Tell me what to do. I'm at my wit's end. Jethro, what kind of a bird is that up there?
That's a seagull.
Ooh, a water bird. That's my sign. I gotta get out back and try once again to get him out of the water.
That sure does look like fun, Mark. Do you think you could learn me to do all that?
Sure, you're a good swimmer. You'd make a fine frog woman.
Should I put on this here gear and try it?
Well, my gear would be too large. I'll get you a scuba outfit of your own.
Ellie! Mark!
We's here, Granny.
Ellie, I told you to keep him out of the water. Now look at him.
That's all right, Granny. This is how a frogman's supposed to look.
Well, for heaven's sake, don't let him get his head wet.
Granny, I thought you was going to stay away and leave these young'uns alone.
Well, look at him, Jed. He's a frogman again.
I know that.
Pa, is it all right if Mark makes me into a frog woman?
Why, sure.
Oh.
Here you are, Granny. I made you some sassafras tea. That'll straighten you out.
Oh, sure it will. My granddaughter's in love with a frog man. Jethro and Ellie both want to become frog people. And you're going to straighten everything out with sassafras tea. What a family.
Well, Granny, you might as well get used to the notion. Ellie is pretty serious about that boy.
Some boy. You drop him in water and you get instant frog.
Yeah, you just have your tea and get some rest and everything's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Hello, Ellie.
Oh, hi, Miss Jane.
Granny gave me this frog, and I have no place to keep him.
Oh, he looks like the frog Granny had in the cage yesterday. She made a pet out of it. Named him Mark.
Well, hello there, Miss Hathaway. Nice to see you again.
Well, nice to see you too, Lieutenant.
Is it all right if I leave my scuba gear in the dressing room?
Sure is. Mark's gonna get me one of them rubber suits and learn me to scuba.
I'd like to have her measurements.
So would I. Ellie, Mark needs your measurements and got the proper size suit for you.
Oh, I'm 36, 24, 36.
What a coincidence. We have the same sized waist.
Well, I'll be on my way. I'll bring your gear by later, Ellie.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, I'm leaving now, too, Lieutenant. I'll walk you to the car. You don't mind, do you, Ellie?
Oh, not at all.
You might pretend to mind just a little.
Mark, I bet you'd like to have a swim. There you are. Have fun now. If I see a cricket, I'll fetch it to you.
Who are you talking to, Ellie?
Mark. He's having a swim in the cement pond.
Where are you, Mark? I can't see you. Oh, no, boy. Why wouldn't you listen to me? I begged you to stay out of the water. I pleaded with you. I know this would happen. Well, there's only one person I know that's smart enough to help me.
More bad dreams, Granny.
Oh, this is worse than a bad dream, Miss Jane.
Well, I think I know someone who can help you, Granny. He's a doctor here in the building, a psychiatrist. He's excellent at this sort of thing. I'm sure I can get him to see you immediately.
Did you hear that, Mark? We's gonna get help for you.
How do you do? I'm Dr. Klinger.
Howdy, Doctor. I'm Granny. And this is Mark Templeton.
Nice-looking frog.
You ought to see him in his uniform. He's handsome.
His uniform.
He's a lieutenant in the United States Navy.
Well, Miss Hathaway said you had a problem, and you do. Now, why don't you just lie down over here and tell me all about it?
Well, he's the one with the problem. If he goes back to the Navy like that, who's going to salute him?
Well, then why don't you both make yourself comfortable? Now, begin at the beginning and tell me all about it.
Well, he come to the house a few days ago and commenced courting my granddaughter.
I see. And what did your granddaughter think about that?
Oh, she liked him straight off. Now she's head over heels in love with him.
With Mark here.
Yeah. I think she wants to marry him.
Did you by any chance bring your granddaughter with you today?
No, I left her home.
Too bad. Tell me, has she ever become fond of any other creatures? For example, a bird or a mouse?
Well, she ain't much for mice, but she's got a pigeon she's real crazy about.
Pigeon. Well, they're very nice.
And then, of course, there's Elmer the raccoon and Ralph the possum.
Huh. But has she ever expressed a desire to marry either of them?
Oh, no, she likes him. But Mark here is the only one that she's serious about.
I'm awfully sorry you didn't bring her along.
You'd like her. She's a real beauty.
She sounds like it.
I think one of the reasons she took to Mark straight off is that he looks so much like his brother. Handsome rascal.
Is Mark's brother in the Navy, too?
No, he's a preacher.
Uh-huh. Well, and tell me, Granny, exactly what would you like me to do to help you?
He won't listen to me. Will you please tell him to stay out of the water?
Mark, stay out of the water.
Thank you, Doctor. You don't know what you've done.
That is the absolute truth.
You're looking for trouble. You aim to help me find some?
He's bold.
Quite a guy.
With a courageous heart.
Ladies, this is no job for amateurs.
Saddle up for John Wayne in a full day of the Duke. Today, starting at 2 in Hallmark Country. On the next Hallmark Channel double feature, when a death in prison and a corpse in the woods uncover organized crime, Leah Thompson is about to become crime's #1 mother.
What are you looking at?
Jane Doe, tomorrow.